All right, good morning, beautiful people. So happy that you're here. My name's Daniel Prok. My friends call me Brother Dan. And more than anything, today I'm here to encourage you. To encourage you to keep believing in something beautiful, even when you might see something with your eyes that's not of your preference. That's something that you might see with your human eyes that you could perceive as drama or trauma or chaos in your life or in the world, and to believe more in your beautiful imagination, your beautiful visualizations that you have of the beautiful day that you're gonna have, about having smiley, happy, and friendly people show up everywhere you go, about creating a beautiful and wonderful and glorious life for yourself and for the collective here on earth. Because nothing can stop what you believe from coming true. Nothing. And nothing can stop what we believe together from coming true. So when we believe in beautiful and glorious things, we'll create a beautiful and glorious life for ourselves and for one another. And it takes you and it takes me lighting the light within everyone on earth and being the light, because you are the light right here and right now on planet Earth. So this speech is called Creating Heaven on Earth by Believing in and Perceiving Heaven on Earth. I didn't grow up with these types of thoughts or awarenesses. I grew up in what I would consider to be less than and lack drama, trauma, chaos within my family or schools or society, all of it. But over the last 10 years, I started piecing together things like everything is here and now. When I wake up in the morning, I'm here and it's right now. I'm speaking to y'all. I'm right here. You happen to be right here and you're in the center, smack dab in the center of your reality. You're always right here. So I started piecing together the here and now. And it was like, why would I wait to die and go to heaven? I grew up in the Lutheran church. Why would I wait when it's going to be right here and right now? I'm bringing that into me. And I started practicing that and telling myself that better story about life. And it became that more and more and more. And now when I see the looks on people's faces, I perceive beauty and glory. This last year, I've trained my mind to use my physical senses the way that I perceive. I perceive this as the way that it was meant to happen the whole time. The Garden of Eden, that story in the Bible, is like the Garden of Eden, this perfect, beautiful paradise, was always here for us, is always here for us, is here in this moment, right here, right now together. It's here. And then especially when you go out in nature, you can do things to actually condition your mind from your divinity to see life, and I say with your divine eyes, instead of with the eyes that your mind learned to see with from society, that taught you, probably what was taught to me, that my group might be different than another group. I'm here in America, so that country's wrong and our country's right. Things like that, separation, division, things such as, we only have this amount of money. We only have this amount of resources. Learning lack and learning those patterns. Now I'm still unlearning those things. And I'm practicing believing in something beautiful, even when my life isn't exactly of my preference, because I'm still manifesting more things such as abundance. And just being honest with you, yesterday I did a speech about creating heaven on earth, kind of similar to this, but a little different. But afterwards, for some reason, I started getting frustrated. And last night, it was like frustration was happening in my mind. Because there's parts of my life that aren't the full expression of what I call heaven on earth. If you saw me out in the parking lot, I drove up in a 2000 Dodge Stratus. And I'm like, this isn't the external representation of what's going on inside of me. And that's been happening, it's been there for a while. So I have this frustration, but I'm like, you know what? Even within that, I'm still gonna believe in something beautiful. And I'm still gonna come in here and talk about something beautiful. And I went through the resistance even to get here, because last night I was frustrated and I didn't sleep as well as I usually do. I usually sleep great. But I talked to a buddy, he kind of talked me through it, and I was like, I'm going. And I was like, maybe this will be part of my story and will encourage someone else. That even if your life in the physical world isn't optimized yet, and you want more, maybe you want more love. And these are the divine truths that I talk about and I write about in the books that came through me in 2020. They're called the Books of Heaven on Earth. They're in this box. If you want more love, if you want better health, we want more wealth, we want more wisdom and freedom. Those are divine truths. Those are actually the way God created creation. And while life simply is, and we define life as we go, God made those fundamental principles. And sometimes I have people, and you can do this now or later, just breathe into your heart, even with your eyes open, breathe into your heart, breathe in a couple times, maybe put a gentle smile on your face. Just breathe in and go, and you feel that peace and well-being and wellness, and you feel that love if you even open your heart a little bit when you breathe in. So the love and peace is always there. But what happened to me yesterday? My mind started thinking, processing, why hasn't this happened? What, those things, and then I blocked it. But the peace and love is always there. So going deeper within ourselves, and I say deeper, but it's more like just going inside, and it's not like you gotta dig down into, digging in the ground to go deeper inside yourself. You're just like, realize what you are. Peace and love and joy. You are all of that. You are peace, love, and joy. We all are. So believing in something beautiful and believing in something wonderful, even when it doesn't look that way to your eyesight, to what you hear, even when someone might, or some influence might drop a narrative into your life, which has been done a lot in 2020 and beyond, and you just say, am I gonna believe that story, or am I gonna believe in something beautiful? Could I just imagine something beautiful and glorious, even when they're saying this is going on in the world? And then eventually you reach a point where you're like, I believe that it's heaven on earth. I believe that it's love, health, wealth, wisdom, and freedom for me and everyone. I'm going to be sending out that vibration so deliberately and so often that we literally transform nations and civilizations and our life in our home and in the car that we drive and in the relationships we have and the friendships. And you truly learn to do what we already know how to do. It's like letting go of the discordant programming, letting go of those things, and then anchoring into the truth of who you are. And again, I'll say you are love. Well, I'll add these things. So in the books that came through me, they're called one is the book of love. Then about a month later, the book of light. Then a couple months later, the book of heaven. Then the book of life. And there's a declaration of heaven on earth, and there's a great awakening book. So all those books came through, and they are all about the fundamental concept of heaven on earth is here and now. And I will say these divine truths: you are love, and you are light, and you are beauty and glory. God only makes beautiful and glorious things. Any perception that you've ever had of yourself or of anything that's other than beauty and glory is just a perception put into our mental construct from our reality, probably from our experience, maybe from our experience dozens or hundreds of times, that was shown to us like less than, lack, discord. But when we go deeper, we can say nothing in life truly has a given meaning to it. I give it the meaning. I define the experience as I go. And then when we preemptively define our experience with divine truths and say, I am love, I am light, I am beauty, I am glory, I am health, I am wealth, I am wisdom, I am freedom, then you anchor that in and you define your life. And you believe, train your mind to believe in those concepts, which is really letting go of the things that are out of alignment with those and anchoring ourselves into the truth. And even look around to each other today and just look at a neighbor and just say, you're awesome. And look at another neighbor and say, I'm awesome. Yeah, because that's the truth. That's the truth. And we are all reflections of each other. And we have divinity within ourselves, and we're one collective. And something that happened as the next book, I'm almost done with the next book. It's called The Constitution of the Kingdom of Heaven on Earth. And it's about how individuals and societies operate within heaven on earth, the most beautiful paradise, oasis God made for us. And just to vibe on that, that's like other terms, vibe on that so much that you start perceiving that. You believe in something beautiful even when it doesn't look like it. You visualize a beautiful, glorious life and a beautiful planet Earth, even visualizing peace for all peoples, visualizing cities of love and light, visualizing things like that in your mind, and that uplifts your life and all of society. So continue to do that and continue to believe more in what you imagine than what you see with your eyes. Unless what you're seeing with your eyes is magnificent, such as a day like today, you'll probably be going through your reality and you'll be experiencing a lot of things of your preference, a lot of friendly people, a lot of loving people, a lot of people who are interested in uplifting, helping people with their health and well-being and vitality, helping people connect more to God, helping people with wealth and all these concepts. Flow through that reality, knowing that there is no fixed point in reality. It's always changing. And even if something's not of your preference, don't let the mind stick on that like I did yesterday. My mind got stuck on this thing isn't of my preference. Well, what if I just flow through and let my imagination form as I flow through my reality? Because that's really what we are doing. It's really what we are doing is creating our life from the inside out. So I want to do a quick exercise with you, and then we'll wrap it up. I'll answer some questions for you. Over the last year, and I learned these concepts in the books, and the books truly are messages that came through me. I wasn't expecting any of this. And maybe in some way I was, because I often did wonder. I grew up Christian, and I often wondered, well, what would happen if Jesus wrote a book? I want to hear from him, as opposed to other people's stories about him. And I wondered that for years, and then I started getting a message in my mind when I was in Sedona. I cleared my mind. I was out there 6 months in 2020. I went there for 2 weeks, stayed there 6 months. And I cleared my mind by hiking energy vortexes and just being healthy and being at peace. And then I perceived the words coming through, and it said, "The Book of Love by Jesus the Christ, channeled by Prok." Just this little voice that I learned to sense. I sense it more than seeing it. And then it said, "My beloved, it is with great love that I share these ideas with you." And Jesus brought that book through me, and then another book and another. And as I've been reading these books, I've learned so much from them. I keep listening to the audiobooks of my own voice, reading the books, because it keeps rewiring my consciousness. I need to be fully in my mind in heaven on earth all the time to manifest it. I'm still retraining my mind to be there. But to perceive beauty and glory in every moment, I'll do a quick exercise with you. If you look around the room and just say, find something that's the color red. Just glance around, see the color red. Maybe find the color black. There's more black in the room. Now look around and find something beautiful. And it could be anything. And then even saying something like, "I am beauty, seeing beauty. I am love, seeing love." And even something, and I do this with those divine truths: love, light, beauty, and glory. So you can say, "I am love, hearing love." And listen for it. I didn't grow up like this, but now when I hear the people next door, it's beautiful hearing a crowd of people interacting and enjoying interacting like that. It's a beautiful thing. So I am love, and then you move on through the physical senses. I am love, touching love. In your next meal, I am love, tasting love. Or if you're chewing some gum, maybe you're got some love, you're tasting love right now. And then I am love, smelling love. And you might just smell a breeze outside, or some flowers, the aroma passes by, or the scent of a beautiful woman might come walking past me and later on today. Those sort of things, they're so beautiful. God made life for us to enjoy with our physical senses. I was driving over here this morning and I thought to myself, God could have made life gray, like a gray scale, like those old black and white TVs or black and white pictures. God could have made life like that, but God made life with this infinite color palette that keeps changing. And especially when I go to look at the ocean in Windansea where I live at the beach, that color palette of those waves and the sky and the sunset, and every day it's different, and it's so beautiful. God didn't have to make it beautiful. God didn't have to make food taste. Cars get gas and it pumps in there and then they're energized in whatever they're not in. I don't know if they're enjoying the experience. We get to enjoy the experience of eating a meal, and it's really pleasurable. And it's even more pleasurable when we see it and feel it as pleasurable. I am love, tasting love. So I'll do this, and I'll wrap things up with this. Every breath I take, and this is a mantra that you can say for yourself. Every breath I take, every move I make, everywhere I go, everything I do, is love, light, beauty, and glory, is health, wealth, wisdom, and freedom. So you can play with that. And as you go through life, I do this a lot when I'm exercising on the beach. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this 30-second sprint, and I am God's infinite light while I'm running. And I'll more infinite light. And you can do it in softer ways too. Do it in a way that's right for you, to get your mind to perceive life in that way. Because we can perceive anything of any situation that we want. We can see something that looks like victory for one party and tragedy for another. Could be just a football game, but our perception of the event is actually our reality. That football game doesn't have a given meaning. We define it. That goes with every situation in our life. We define our life. So when we preemptively know the divine truths, there is love, light, beauty, and glory in us. That's what we are. And health, wealth, wisdom, and freedom, all those are the way that the Creator made life. And then to restructure our consciousness to align with our divinity, to align with that beauty and glory and love and light, to align with health, wealth, and wisdom and freedom. And I'll say this, you are love, you are light, you are beauty and glory. God only makes beautiful and glorious things. And you are health. Health is our original and natural state of being. In the pre-existence of the first cell of your body was perfection in that planning. You are perfection. I'm still rewriting my personal script to align with that truth. I know that's a truth. Pure health, wellness, and well-being. That's the way God made things. But I learned through experience and through society that that's not the pattern. I know that's the pattern, but I need to rewrite my script of the way my life operates. And then wealth. Wealth is a permanent construct in creation. They're not shipping in other resources from another planet to build all the new houses and construction around town. It's coming from our imagination and the resources on earth. The earth is infinite resources. To get our mind to fix so much on that, and then to take action in that, and then we experience that more and more. And then wisdom. God's wisdom is always flowing. It's in everything. It's especially in our consciousness. When we clear our mind, can live more in the present moment, more at peace, we can get that internal guidance, that wisdom, divine knowledge, divine ideas. And then freedom. Freedom is our God-given birthright. Freedom is the true expression of our soul. Freedom, and I kind of sing the little, freedom, freedom, freedom for me and everyone. I sing that to myself sometimes when I perceive freedom's not really happening out there. In ways, it's like we continue to keep overriding what we may perceive as something other than our preference with our imagination, with heaven on earth for ourselves and for society. So let's just wrap things up with this. We can just repeat these things together. We are love. We are light. We are beauty. We are glory. We are health. We are wealth. We are wisdom. We are freedom. We are heaven on earth. And it truly is a collective. It's an inclusive group. And as a group, remember, there's a small group of people. It doesn't take every person on earth to change a collective. The United States was changed at a time, or created at a time, when they perceived manipulation, lack from their higher ups. So they resonated in a way. They said, we've had enough, and they believed in something better. We're believing in something better. Social rights movements, Martin Luther King and others, it didn't take everyone. It took the people who are like, I'm believing in something beautiful even though I've experienced something that sucks, right? And maybe their whole family was experienced stuff and they're like, I'm gonna keep believing it and talking about it and talking about it, and the next person believes, and then we believe, and then a collective consciousness believes. Nothing can stop what we believe from coming true. Just remember those 9 words: love, light, beauty, glory, health, wealth, wisdom, and freedom. That's your life, that's my life, that's our earth, and that's heaven on earth. I love you all. God bless you very much. And these are all of the books of heaven on earth. There's the book of love, the book of light, the book of heaven, and the book of life. There's also a declaration of heaven on earth and a great awakening are these 2. So I'm selling all the books. Come over and say hi. If you didn't already get the QR code for the free audio books, then get those from me. I was passing around a flyer that, if any of you still want to get that QR code to get the 2 audio books for the book of love and the book of light, then do that. Otherwise, just be beautiful and glorious. If you have any questions, feel free to ask or come up and say hi. God bless you.
Thank you.